And then I know, Alex, you and I were talking about this, and I'd love you just to kind of explain your logic around this as well. So one of the things that we offer, but it's not being used enough, in my opinion, is what we call a hot seat. And the hot seat is, people have two choices. One is they can walk around with the problem on their shoulder, or they can go through a stakes model. So a stakes model takes around 20 minutes. And what you do is you set up the conversation for success. You take stock. So you explore what is currently happening. You articulate, so you get clearer description of what the preferred reality would be. You keep exploring, so you spread the net wide. You be, beyond the usual suspects. You energize action, so you use energy from the inside to commit to action, and then you have a strong completion. So effectively, it's a coaching methodology to help people get results, to move sort of mindset shifts, etc. And Alex, you and I were chatting about this last night. And you've literally just qualified 2 days ago, I think it was. You got your certificate. So talk to us just a little bit about why this would be of benefit to people. Before we get into people's accountability, I just want to kind of talk to this because I feel like it's a tool we're not using enough of.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Well, yesterday morning I got the certificate, but I didn't get my mark. So I'm still going to follow up and see if I got that 99% or the 95%. So yeah, I think the way to start this type of conversation is really what is the outcome of what we're trying to achieve here? And really the outcome is high quality thinking, because we're all very busy in our lives, and I think we go from one problem to the next problem, to handling kids, to handling family members, to handling business problems. And it's very rare that we actually get a space to calmly, and I want to call it strategically, go through our thoughts. So yeah, I think that's the exact slide. Our lives are focused on problem and drama, whether we like it or not. It is a day by day fight that you move forward and you try and be successful. Now, what the outcome of a stakes model, or what you just referenced as the hot seat, is where you bring a problem that's on your lips. Now, that might be, I don't know, what is a problem that we can use? It might be that I'm trying to lose weight, or I'm trying to continue to be, active at the CrossFit gym, or I want to join a CrossFit gym. And like, why are you not getting to it? And we go through this entire stakes model to find out, like, what is the things that you
Alex,
can do.
sorry, do you mind if I butt in? It doesn't,
Yeah.
It could be something 100% related to what we're doing here. I had a one-to-one session with someone last week. I'm not going to mention names. And she was like, she doesn't feel like she's making progress. And yet when we went through it, and we went through what her top 3 outcomes were that she wanted to achieve when we did when her and I did the one-to-one, we actually looked, and she had made measurable progress on all 3 outcomes, but she wasn't feeling it because she wasn't checking in on it. You know what I mean? So it's different problems for different people,
Exactly. And I think all we're trying to articulate or share here is that whatever problems on your lips, whether it is part of your 3 outcomes that you had with Scott when you joined, or whether it's a massive problem for you currently, that's a space where you could then really utilize the skills that we've developed now to go through this entire process, where it gets very clear on what the outcomes are, or what's the problem, what's currently facing you. And then almost you leave it and you go into a very high quality thinking, asking questions that are thought provoking and actually get you outside of your box. Because that's where we live. We live in the bottom box, the problem and drama. And by having a space where you can just calmly have someone guide you through a process where you don't actually have to think. I think I've had so many sessions with coaches and coaching other people that I sometimes have these like, wow, it's so nice just to shut up and have someone actually just, listen to you and give you insight. Because I think that's what the biggest reason for these sessions is you speak and you verbalize what's in your mind at the moment, and then the other person on the other side of the screen basically gives you insight on what they heard and what key outcomes that they heard you want out of that process. So yeah, I think that pretty much covers that part.
Awesome. Any questions just quickly before we move on? Because I think it's important to make sure we've got understanding around this. I will move to the accountability point next, but I just want to kind of ask if anyone's got any questions, whether you want to put your hand up and talk or whether you want to put it in the chat box. I don't mind. I just feel that we're not using this nearly enough. Another gentleman, and again, I'm not going to mention names, one of the farming gentlemen, we've got enough farmers that I'm not making that specific to anyone, is having quite a big challenge at the moment. And again, you know, wasn't turning up to the mastermind, and I was like, well, that's not going to help, you know, like let's rather solve the problem, you know, in terms of getting you back on track to achieve your outcome. So yeah, I don't know, anyone got any questions, thoughts, comments before we move on? No? All good. Everyone's got all their stuff in order. Great. So the only thing I would say here, and I know I'm preaching to the converted because the people who are here are often not the people that are having the challenges, if that makes sense. So I don't quite know how to solve that problem, but I will just say, you know, please use us. Alex and I are here. We've got the skills, and you know, from my experience so far, we haven't yet had a problem, touch wood, where someone's had a problem. I've said, let's have a one-to-one chat, and we haven't been able to solve the problem. It hasn't happened once yet as part of the mastermind. So